Hey there, my wedding planning friends, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I'm Emily Summer. I'm a wedding planner based in Montana, and I make weekly videos on wedding planning tips and advice. So I've done a couple videos on wedding trends for 2025, and today we're going to continue on to that and talk specifically about wedding dress trends. And for those of you that don't know, I also own a wedding dress store here in Missoula, Montana. So I'm going to talk about all of the wedding dress trends that I saw in the most recent bridal market and bridal fashion week, and what I'm expecting to see brides choosing throughout the 2025 wedding season. Number one of the biggest trends and things that I'm seeing across all designers and pretty much every collection that I viewed in New York during Bridal Fashion Week had a basque waist option or multiple basque waist options. So if you are unfamiliar with this term, I guarantee you've probably seen photos of it and maybe you didn't know what it was called, but the basque waist is where the waist kind of comes down to a V, often incorporated in some sort of corseted bodice as well. But whenever that waistline comes down to a V rather than just cutting off around the natural waistline or drop waist, that is what's referred to as a basque waist, and something that we are seeing blow up as far as wedding dress trends for this year goes. Number two is the continuation of the popularity for strapless dresses. Strapless dresses have come back. I think for the longest time, strapless dresses were very much the norm, like 90s to early 2000s, we saw a lot of strapless dresses, and then we kind of saw them go away for a little while, and they have been making their way back. A lot of straight across strapless, as well as the return of like a traditional sweetheart strapless neckline. On the topic of necklines, number three is modest necklines. So a little bit more modest necklines are making their way back into the trends for this year. For a while, we saw a lot of deep V's, a lot of that plunging cut, whether it was like an open V or if it was just like a cut down the middle, kind of going along the breastbone or the sternum there. That was a very popular trend for a while, and now we are seeing a little bit more modest necklines making their way back. Number four, non-veil accessories. I would say, at least here in my store, it's about 50-50 on whether brides are choosing to go for a veil or not. And we're seeing a lot of designers incorporate accessories onto the dress or having that as an option for like an add-on for the dress that's kind of in lieu of wearing a veil. So things like scarf accessories, that's something we saw on several new collections this past season for the upcoming season, as well as like capes that attach to the back of the dress, or some kind of a little bit more extravagant hair accessory, something that is worn basically like in lieu of a veil, but still adding that kind of extra drama effect. Number five, similarly to the basque waist, we are also seeing a large increase in the drop waist. This was something that was pretty much only in like couture gowns or really high fashion gowns for the last few years, and now it's becoming a little bit more mainstream to see more drop waist gowns coming back. And this is something that I expect to see pretty popular over the next year or two. Number six, convertible dresses or convertible options on dresses. So whether this is a detachable overskirt so that you can have a couple different looks, maybe it's a fitted skirt with a flowier overskirt so you can kind of get the best of both worlds there, or a detachable train, detachable full long sleeves, or detachable off the shoulder sleeves. Basically a lot of detachable options, or as one of my designers referred to as a dress that can do tricks. So that's something that we are seeing a lot more of, and being able to have a little bit more versatility with the gown and just kind of some convertible options is a trend that we're seeing in 2025. Number seven, kind of touched on this as well in the beginning, but corsets, dresses that are, whether it's a two-piece corset or just having that corset structure built into dresses, is something that we are seeing in a ton of different styles. And whether that's a fitted dress, a flowy dress, a ball gown, that corseted bodice is a huge trend right now. And it goes both ways as far as being like an exposed, visible corset, whether that is a sheer corset, but we're also seeing it in fully lined, like a crepe gown, and you just see the exposed, or not exposed, but you see like the boning lines. That's what the lines are called in a corset. It's called boning. So a lot of dresses that have that exposed boning, whether it's sheer or lined, something that we are seeing in a lot of gowns. And finally, number eight is lace. We are you're having a resurgence of the more like traditional French Chantilly types of laces in wedding gowns again, which is something that I love, and excited that it is making a comeback in 2025. Again, various shapes as well for this. I've seen full lace ball gowns, full lace A-lines, as well as full lace fitted gowns. And this is something that I'm expecting to make a comeback for a decent chunk of time as well. So if you are beginning your wedding dress shopping experience and curious of the wedding trends that you're expecting to see, or maybe you want a dress that's going to be on trend but still somewhat timeless, these are what we're expecting to see for this season, as well as I anticipate this moving into next year as well. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe to get weekly videos on wedding planning tips and advice, and we'll see you next week.